Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another retro review of Dynasty. Dynasty, circa 1981, bitch. This is season 1, episode 3, entitled The Honeymoon. Thank you all so much for joining me down for another retro review. And again, shout out and thank you to Really Be TV for inviting me along this journey. It is fun. I am sorry to each and every one of y'all that this video did not come out last night. Child, they had drained me down here on the YouTube streets. Now, if you've been watching down here in this beef sector, y'all know it's been going down, baby. It's been, oh, baby, we've been swinging and banging for days. And it has kept me from getting back to you guys. And I want to deeply apologize to y'all for that and promise y'all in the future I will do better. These reviews usually come out on Tuesday night. This in Greenleaf, unfortunately, it's coming out Wednesday night. So again, my humblest apologies, and I will do better. But let's just get into this retro review for Dynasty. Again, season 1, episode 3, entitled The Honeymoon. Child, I need a Blake Harrington in my life. Okay? I needs me a Blake Harrington in my life, sisters. Okay? Child, he done took Crystal to Hawaii, Singapore, and a few other places for a honeymoon. Baby, they currently up in the air when he get a phone call from that old lawyer, Andrew, telling him that, things getting kind of rough around these parts. That colonel in that Middle Eastern country where he was currently drilling has now been killed, and the rebels are responsible. And apparently they are blocking the tankers from being able to get out to the rigs. And right now, the State Department is saying they don't know what they're going to be able to do about this situation right now. So as bulk of his estate, his Coindellas is tied up in this Mideastern thing, this is a cause for alarm for him. He is definitely upset, okay? Now, when he got off that phone, Crystal could tell by the way he was looking that this was obviously something deep and something serious. So she tell him, look, you need to go back. We need to go back home. Now, they in midair on their way to destination, probably number 5. She said, we need to go back so you can take care of your business. Child. Obviously, it ain't good because, see, he was on that phone talking about whatever this is could be, he got a small fortune, like I said. So we are headed back to Denver from the honeymoon, okay? So we see as they're returning, Jeff and Fallon is spending more time together. They actually are out on one of the tennis courts on the estate playing tennis, enjoying a game. Well, once they pull up and Michael bring in all the luggage and, with his jealous ass, he asked Fallon if after Crystal, Blake, and Joseph had walked off, why is Jeff there? Child, like she got to answer questions to him. I don't think he got enough yet. I mean, I really would leave her alone considering she basically stuck your head underwater last week. But okay, you want to keep playing with fire, you eventually gonna get burned. She told him, look, Jeff gonna be around until I beat him at tennis, then I'm gonna find somebody else. Still not even thinking about his ass. Michael, you are a driver, and I seriously doubt if you'll ever get any further with Fallon in her life, baby. You are only good for when she is horny and no one else is around, okay? Now over at Matthew and Claudia, he done bought her a car. She concerned about the cost because they got so many bills, to include her therapy bill, and plus he's starting his own business, etc. He said he got things, to call on a deal, and they're going to be just fine. But he want her to be able to go back out into the world and start enjoying life. Now, for those of you who may be just not catching this series as I am reviewing it, and you have not had a chance to go back and watch review for episode 1 and 2, Claudia has a she has a mental issue. She has been inside of a mental institution for quite some time, 18 months to be exact, and she's only been out with amongst people again in 1 month. So she's still scared about how she move and shake around these parts. Child. She reminds him that it has only been a month. Now, he didn't want to argue, but he wants her to start living again, and she feels she's not ready. So he offered to return the car. That made her mad because she wanted him to express how he really feels. If you got a problem with what I'm saying, speak up. opposed to just submitting in fear that it's going to affect her. So he tell her that he not driving her around no more then. So you want to hear, here you go. I'm not going to be driving you around no more. I don't like being married to a mental patient no more than you like being one. At this point, Lindsay, their daughter, has come out the house to get rid, she preparing to go to school. She is listening, but she ain't add nothing to that situation like a child's supposed to. That's what I love. Because if this would have been one of them 2000 shows, that little girl would have jumped in her parents' argument, and I would have been so mad. But she ain't saying nothing as she shouldn't. Okay? He tell her to come on, let's go. Let me take you to school. When they leave, Claudia with the keys in her hand, she goes over to the car he bought her. She looking at the car. She said it's like it's foreign. Then she decided to get in and started, and she was about to go for a little drive. But she a little off, She ain't drove in a minute, and she was going down the wrong side of the road. A car swerved to avoid an accident with her, and that kind of freaked out. She jumped out of the car looking crazy. Now, my thing was, calm yourself, Claudia. It's gonna be just fine, honey. It's gonna be all right, sis. You must reacclimate to life. So breathe and try again. Now we're gonna see later on if she try again. Matt meets up with Walter. Apparently he found some pipes and he ready to start their new business. Walter says the crew done walked off. I got denied for a loan that meant no payday, so they walked off. Later, we see Claudia did in fact take that chance. Baby, she is driving here. You hear me? She done drove out to the rig where Matthew work in with some lunch in her hand. She want to spend some time with him and see that, show him that she trying, okay? But he ain't there. Ain't nobody around. Who she did run up on was Steven. He was looking for Matthew as well. So they introduced themselves to one another. Well, Matt not around, like I said, so she had lunch and she offered to have lunch with him. He said he couldn't do it right then. He had to go find Matthew. He did, however, take a sandwich that she offered, and she just wished you could tell she wished her husband was there to celebrate her conquering a feat, but he wasn't there. And she just sat there for a while at the rig with the lunch in her hand, the lunch pail, the lunch bag she had set up. She sat there. I said, it's going to be all right, sis. It's going to be all right. Now, Matt and Walter is over at the Hillside Lounge having a few drinks, hanging out with the men from the crew that had quit. Matt was trying to work, on some magic on them. He was trying to get them to return to work for him and Walter. Walter got mad and said, don't be babying them. If they want to be quitters and quit, then so be it. Even was about to get into a fight with one of the men who told Matthew, you better get him. Matthew stopped the fight and told them all to look. He got a new pipe coming and he did secure a loan from another bank and he asked them to return to work and he's willing to give them a full day's pay for that said work. Since they walked out, he gonna pay them for that whole day if they just come back. Steven walked in there listening when none of the men seemed to want to return back to work. Steven offered to work for Matt. He told him, just tell me what I need to do. Now, the men recognized him and basically was kind of digging at him, talking about he Blake Carrington's son and, he don't know nothing about getting kerosene on his good $200 shirts and, all that stuff, and coming home every day with smooth all over them because he from the rich and the famous, right? He not accustomed to that life. Basically, they saying that he's a rich, privileged kid. He don't know nothing about no real work. One of the men suggested that Stephen could even be a spy for his daddy and called him a crook. Of course, Stephen defended his dad, saying that he never walked off from a job nor let his friends down. That's one thing you could say about my father. Old boy got mad at him, wanted to fight. Stephen wasn't really ready for no fight, but he did get him one good one off before the fight really took off. He snuck the dude, and the dude whooped his ass, was tearing his ass a new one, but Matt got him off of him, and he asked him, he said, well, hell, do I at least get the job? He told him, yeah, I'm going to hire you. Stephen and Walter was walking him out of the lounge, because he done got his ass totally whooped up, child. They was walking him all about that lounge. Then the crew came over to him and said that, look, we're going on and good work, but you better make sure we get some coins out of this, or we ain't gonna keep doing it, okay? Now, and they said they would make sure that Stephen was taken care of. They gonna take him home because he kind of beat up right now, child. Now back at Blake's, he's on the phone pissed because he needs to get his oil out of that country. He's at a meeting in his home, and you can see that the problem could actually bankrupt Denver Carrington. So everybody is working to try to figure out a plan. Him and Andrew talking over strategy, child. Fallon asked and snuck in there. This hoe right here, her. That right there, her. I'm blocking her because she on my damn nerve. But that's her right there, child. That's Fallon. She said that now she done snuck her ass in there sitting in one of them high back lounges he had in that room in his, I guess that's his office when he at home. But she and then she just jumps in and interjects in their conversation with her opinion. And to Blake's surprise, she is in there. Child, he wasn't giving no interest to her suggestion and dismissed her real nasty like. He goes back to talking to Andrew, something about making it shake. And what he been doing right now ain't yielding no results. Maybe he need to try something more abrasive, because they got to have something to present to them stockholders, and this ain't good for the company, okay? Fallon then interjects again, talking about use a little Carrington charm. Blake wasn't feeling it at all and a bit irritated with her at this point. So he tells her, look, just leave, basically. She said she only trying to help. She said you catch more flies with honey than opposed to buttermilk. Now, that must be rich folks' 80s lingo, because down here in the dirty, we say you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Anyway, he escorted her on out that damn room at that point, very lovingly. She said Matthew Tisdale was a longtime friend. What's wrong with inviting him to come to the house and have a meeting with them, offering his job back, including his leases? She said once upon a time, you and Matt was cool. She said you would do this because this is a smart move to make. Now, the only reason why you wouldn't call Matthew back to work and try to work things out with him is because you would still be jealous of his former relationship with Crystal. That's the only reason why I would think my father wouldn't be making a wise decision. That made him think that she may actually have an idea, but he still shooed her right on the way. Now, this scene with Joseph kind of worked on my nerve. Okay, it did. I would have let Joseph and their maid have it. Crystal wanted to be set up on the terrace to have dinner that night because the weather was so nice. But Miss May tells Crystal Joseph prefers all meals to be in the dining room. He even walked past looking like the stiff-faced motherfucker that he is, like he the king around there. So Crystal submitted to that. She didn't push the issue. She, in fact, said dinner in the dining hall will be fine. Shit. First of all, baby, let me tell you one thing. I'm the woman of that household. Thus, your damn boss, boo. Okay? And let us not forget one thing for certain and two things for sure. And we're going to get to that, too, in this episode. Blake might not give Crystal no say when it comes to his business, but he ain't no damn fool. He know a happy life means a happy wife, okay? So if she could told him she having problem with them servants, it wouldn't be no issue. It would be taken care of, and you're going to come to see that by the end of this review. Secondly, if I want to eat outside, I'm going to eat the fuck outside. Fuck Joseph and any other stuck-faced bitch like him, okay? Walking around with his stiff-ass face. Like he got an issue. Child. Thirdly, bitch. See me? If you need, baby, If you need off early, because see, Miss May said she was setting up the dining hall early because she had to go. She had okayed it by Jeff to leave. I mean, Joseph to leave early. If you want to go anywhere early, I ain't mean or nothing, but you see me, not Joseph, because you and Joseph the same thing. He just a higher class of what you is. Both of y'all go under the umbrella of hell. That's what I would have told her. But Crystal ain't ready to grow a pair yet. Just bear with us now. I know, and so far it seems like she just letting them walk all over her. But bear with us. You gonna see the emergence of Crystal in this series, okay? Now, Fallon called Andrews leaving and asked him if he would like to take a what did she say? She asked him what would it take to bail her daddy out of the problems that he in, because she didn't overheard it. She know it's bad. He said more than her allowance. He also told her he saw how she suggested Matt coming to that house and having dinner with him, and he know it's only to drive Crystal crazy because she don't like her. She says that she don't feel that Crystal is good for him. He said, I thought, what did he tell her? He told her little girls, usually by the age of 6, realize that they can't grow up and marry their dads. She went to slap him. He told her, He caught that hand in mid motherfucking air. And then he told her baby friends ain't supposed to fight each other. That bitch thought about that a minute, kissed him on the cheek and said, see you later, Andy. I can't. I can't stand her. I cannot stand her. God, that girl is something else. I can't wait for Crystal to slap her, but we gonna get there. Now, Matthew home telling Crystal he feels he was hard on her earlier, so he will take the car back. Baby, she elated to tell him that she drove out to the rig to see him earlier, and she drove herself, and it felt good. She thanks him for everything that he's done for her. And child, they went to locking lips, and he finally knocked the dust off that Badusi. Because if you remember last week, she wanted to sleep with him, and he just wasn't in the mood for it. Well, tonight he was in the mood, girl. And he went ahead on and broke her off something proper. Like I said. Now, child, Blake and Crystal out horseback riding, right? Stephen pull up in an old yellow pickup, announces that he's working for Matthew Tisdale. Now, Crystal just lowered her head, of course, because, everybody knows she used to be with that man. Back then, people had some shame about themselves. Nowadays, women walk around here and be sitting right up in the motherfucking spot with they former lover and they new one, and they cool with one another. Back then, if you broke up with a man or had a relationship with a man, you didn't deal with that man no more. And then Matt was married when him and Crystal was having that affair. So any mention of him kind of makes her feel some kind of way. She get a little embarrassed about that because, that was her past, okay? And Stephen said to his dad he would hope, because Blake didn't like that, he would hope that his daddy would have appreciated the fact that he at least is trying to learn the business. By the way, Stephen looked like he had been in a fight too, baby. That boy down at that damn Hillside Lounge whooped his ass up good. Baby got a busted lip in the corner pocket. Baby, he got an old nasty smoke eye, and it wasn't done by Ebby Reviews. Check her out if you're not aware of who that is. If you like a beat mug, bitch, holla at Ebby, and she'll get it for you. But child, he had one of them Ebby Reviews black, smoky black eyes on him and everything. He don't want to be. He told his dad, he said, look, you never were given anything in life. You had to work for everything. I want to do the same. I refuse to be a Jeff Colby waiting on Cecil to croak so I could take over and do something. He said he wanted to get it the hard way, just like his dad. And Blake had to at least respect that, but he still wanted to know why him. He said, why not him, unless what Walter said was true and that you did you did sabotage his rig in hopes of shutting him out of business. So if ain't none of that true, why shouldn't I be able to work for him? Why not him? Notice Blake didn't deny that he had sabotaged that man's business, but he went on to say he got 22 rigs and he could put him on either one. He said, no, I finally got something on my own and it wasn't easy. And he just drove off. After he drove off, remember they on horseback, Crystal told Blake maybe he was, you kind of a little hard on him. He's young. Kind of nasty night told Crystal. I got this. I don't need your input on this part. What he said literally is, he's my son and I will deal with him my way. Now, here's where we shall see where Crystal is beginning to understand just how disregarded she is as Blake's wife around his staff. She in the kitchen asking this chef, she gave him a compliment. Although last night's meal was lovely, I overlooked the week's menu, and some of the stuff you want to serve, duck, is kind of heavy for this time of the year. Instead of the man saying yes, ma'am, and adjusting that menu, he starts telling her about what Joseph said. Mind you, Joseph is listening in. He said, well, maybe we should have squab instead of duck. Asked her what she liked it. She said okay, and right as she said okay, Blake came in and asked her what she doing in the kitchen. That goddamn Joseph said swapping favors. I don't got to swap no favor with you and my husband and my house, bitch. But she ain't ready for it yet. We still waiting on the evolution of Crystal Girl. He tells Joseph, we're going to be having a dinner party here next Saturday, 10 people. Make sure it's prepared. Joseph go off to do what he do. He stands there and not ask her as he's supposed to, as a husband would. See, I want y'all to notice all the disrespect. So when she snap, and she will, trust me, I can't wait for that review. I lie to put on my way next hair, fuck him and burn his clothes up wig for that one, honey. I might have to put that one on for y'all. But he informs her that she not gonna like what he finna say, but it's business, meaning that there's no conversation to be had afterwards. He is inviting Walter, Matthew, and Matthew's wife to dinner, kissed her on the cheek, and left her standing there to deal with that. Fallon then got all dolled up in her little one-piece sheer feather wrap around, baby. She got a feather wrap around her little dress. Boy, I love the fashions of the 80s. Man, when you had money in the 80s and you could dress like these hoes, you thought you was the shit. This is what royalty. See, nowadays they think classy is trashy. These women on these shows truly were the epitome of classy. Beautiful gown, beautiful feather shawl, feather wrap around, baby, to cover her up. She ready to get into her convertible top Rolls Royce and go off on her date. When here come jealous Michael rolling up in the car talking about, do you want me to drive you where you got to go? No, Michael, I do not. Well, are you going out with Jeff? She ain't trying to answer that. She told him it's none of his business. So he want to know, what about them? They got a thing too. Child, he had a grip on her arm. She told him, let me go. And I think he must have remembered how strong she really is, because she had his head held down under that water. He was scared. He let her go. She told him that she wasn't really paying him no attention. So he gonna tell her, one of these days you're gonna want me and I ain't gonna be here. Well, one peen won't do another will. She don't seem like she got no problem getting no pain. I'm just saying. Anyway. Crystal in the room upstairs preparing for bed. She upset over everything that done been happening today. Blake coming there trying to make it up to her, but she upset about Matthew coming there when everybody that's going to be there know that they had that past relationship. She asked him, are you just intent on embarrassing me? He said it's all about, she said it was all about him. He said it's all about business. She said, then again, all about you. Everything about you. The house about you. The servants about you. Whoa, 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 whoa. What about these servants? And here's why I told y'all. She might not have no say in this motherfucking business. But in that house, he know a happy wife means a happy life. What these servants done done. So she began to tell him, well, I had wanted a couple of flowers in the damn room. I had to be told you don't like that. I tried to talk to the chef about food, about the diet, the menu for the week. I was met with opposition with that. I wanted to sit outside on the terrace in the nice air and have dinner, and I was met with opposition about that. Baby, he got that phone. He called Joseph and told him assemble them all together. You know. Because anybody that runs afoul of Crystal runs afoul of him. He lined them up in the kitchen, baby. He introduced her to each one of them one by one, and he made this declaration. This is my wife, the head of this household. And if she asks for something to happen, she don't need to be met with no opposition because, again, you run afoul to her. You run afoul to me. He keyed in on the gardener. He said, how long you been working for me? 10 years. He said, and did you have a conversation with my wife where she asked for flowers to be put into the bedroom? Yes, sir, I did. He said, I don't like flowers in my room, right? He said, yes, sir, you'd have. I just know all the 10 years I've been working with you, you never care for flowers in your room. He said, I don't. But see, this here is my wife. So I'm going to have to get used to it. And in the future, nobody gives my wife no 2 for 1. Okay? And since you didn't know that, I'm going to need you to pack your bags up and be up out of here by tomorrow. You're fired. Child Crystal got scared. He telling her, just calm down. He made it clear to everybody in his staff in that house that when Crystal speak, you treat her with the same amount of respect that you show me or else. Then him and Crystal left. When they left, Crystal is standing up there at the stairwell. Oh, they got a beautiful stairwell leading up to that damn second floor. And you know they got about 3-4 floors in that house. Anyway, girl, they about to go upstairs. She upset. I didn't want that man fired. He said, Crystal, look, tomorrow, in the morning, Joseph is going to come to me and tell me he's apologizing and asking for his job back. I'm going to give him back his job. But what that will send a message out to all of the servants that, yes, Mr. Carrington is tough. He harsh, but he fair. He said, I know you don't know about about the people that come into this house and how this house is ran, but I'm going to teach you how this house is ran. So don't worry about it. It's all good. Child, Fallon was meeting up with Cecil. She want to please Cecil. Cecil said, girl, if you wouldn't have called me, we probably wouldn't have met up anymore. He said that was just a momentary thing. He want her to get with Jeff. She don't want to get with Jeff. She coming up with all the reasons why she don't need to be with Jeff. She should be with him. He said, let me tell you something. Jeff is going to be one of the most powerful men in this country. He said he still needs some guidance and some stimulation. And he obviously haven't been able to get that from me. That's where you come into play. He said, your wedding gift, if you choose to do this, will be I will help your father. Oh, yeah, I know about your daddy. Your dad's in trouble and you love him. So if you want your daddy to be helped by me, marry my nephew and do it ASAP. She said, well, what if I don't live up to my end of the bargain? He said, baby, at my age, revenge is sweet. It's just as sweet as, he said it's almost sweeter than sex. I said, Tupac said that a few years later. He said revenge is the sweetest thing next to getting pussy. And here this man then prophesied it, Cecil prophesied it. Where he tells her, basically, yeah, you're going to live up to your end of the bargain. She said, but how would my dad's going to know? He said, your dad won't know and Jeff won't know. Do we have a deal? She shakes hands with him. So now she done got in bed with the devil. She finna have to marry Jeff Colby just for Blake Carrington to get the money he need to sustain. Otherwise, we are looking at the beginning stages of the demise of Denver Carrington. And she loved her daddy so much, she can't see that happen. So she is going to get in bed with the devil. And that brought us to the end of episode number 3. I will be back down here again on Tuesday with episode number 4. Again, my apologies for not getting this out in the manner that at the time that I was supposed to. Y'all, I apologize about this shit. You know how it is sometimes. But I will be back down here next Tuesday. Please join me for another episode retro review of Dynasty circa 1981. In closing, as always, you do not have to be great to get started, but you must get started in order to ever be great. Also, the depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, please remember to rate the video. Ratings get me recognized right here on these YT streets. Comment down below in the pen and let me know what you thought about this episode and how Dynasty is, how you feel about Dynasty so far, if it's new to you or if you're enjoying the retro reviews. Let me know all down there in the panel section. If you have not subscribed to this channel, or my backup channel, LadyNyca Live, please subscribe to both of my channels today. Also, tap your notification bell button on both of the channels so each and every time I drop a pre-recorded video or go live from either one of the channels, you will be notified and you can come over and join in the conversation. Next up will be Greenleaf from last night. Have a wonderful remainder to your Wednesday. I'm going to try my best to do the same, and I'm going to see you on the flip. Peace.